Part 1 of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by David Wales. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart by Herbert F. Peyser. Part 1. Preface. Mozart's earthly career was so poignantly short, yet so filled with incalculable achievement, that the author of this booklet finds himself confronted with an impossible task. He has consequently preferred to outline as best he could, in the space at his disposal, a few successive details of a life that was amazingly crowded with incident, early triumphs, and subsequent crushing tragedies, rather than to consider, let alone evaluate, the staggering creative abundance the master bequeathed mankind. It is scarcely necessary to disclaim for this thumbnail sketch any new slant or original illumination. If it moves any reader to renew his acquaintance with the standard biographies of the composer, or, better still, to deepen his artistic enrichment by a study of modern interpretations of contemporary Mozart scholars like Alfred Einstein and Bernard Baumgartner, its object will be more than achieved. Beginning. If the Mozartian family tree was nothing like the prodigious trunk of the box, it was still not without striking features. There were Mozarts in South Germany as far back as the end of the 16th century, and as remotely as the 13th the name stood on a document in Cologne. To be sure, various spellings of Mozart existed in those distant times. It appeared as Mosshard, Mozart, Mozart, and in still other variants. Bernard Baumgartner, director of the Salzburg Mozarteum, thinks it derived from the old German root Mod or Mut, from which came the word Mut, courage. Be this as it may, German Mozarts were anything but exceptional a couple of hundred years before Leopold Mozart or his son Wolfgang came into the picture. In Augsburg there was an Anton Mozart who painted landscapes in the manner of Bruegel. Another Mozart from the same town, one Johann Michael, was a sculptor who in 1687 moved to Vienna and became an Austrian citizen. But of all these Mossharts, Motards, and the rest, only one, the mason apprentice David Mozart, born in the village of Pfährsi, close to Augsburg, really belongs to our story. The Augsburger Bürgerbuch of 1643 mentions him and sets his fortune at 100 florins. By his marriage with the Jungfer Maria Nägler he was to become the great-great-grandfather of the creator of Don Giovanni. In the fullness of time, David's grandson, Johann Georg, abandoned the occupation of his forebears for that of a bookbinder. His second wife blessed him with 2 daughters and 6 sons. One of these sons, Franz Alois, gained a kind of immortality as the father of Maria Anna Thekla, Wolfgang's cousin, the Bäsel, to whom he wrote that series of notoriously smutty letters with which this lively young lady's name is eternally linked. Johann Georg's firstborn, Johann Georg Leopold, became for posterity simply Leopold Mozart, composer of arid music, author of a celebrated violin method, and father of Wolfgang and of Maria Anna Walpurga Ignatia, whom the world remembers almost solely as Nannerl. It is Nannerl, incidentally, that we have to look for a sort of continuation of the Mozart line down almost to our own time. On January 9, 1919, there died in the Feldhof Insane Asylum near Graz the 77-year-old Bertha Forster, a great-granddaughter of Nannerl, who had lived on in Salzburg till 1829, highly revered because of her exalted kinship. Early life in Salzburg. What brought Leopold Mozart to Salzburg in the first place? A choir singer in the Augsburg Church of St. Ulrich and a graduate of the Augsburger Jesuit Lyceum, he seemed to be shaping for a priestly career. He did not, at all events, follow the bookbinder's trade like his brothers. Alfred Einstein finds it difficult to grasp why he should have
Sample complete. Ready to continue?